How you doing, guys? Daniel back again with another video for you. A build video once again. This time I'm going to be building the Von Ryan Leapers from issue 2 of Combat Patrol magazine. So without further ado, let's crack on. Set the timer this time. You can see it on this desk down camera. Very nice. I may move it off screen at times. We'll move the bases out of the way first of all. What pieces did we want first? We want 1, 2 and 3. Looking once again at the sprue for number 1, 2 and 3. There's 2. You see this is a sprue slightly worse laid out than the last one. So I've got 2 up here. I can't see 1. There's 1. One's a torso piece. I mean, it is a little bit easier if you sort of cross-check it with the magazine, with the instructions that come in the box if you're buying this unit separately, because it'll tell you what each part is. So you can see 1 on the magazine is a torso. That's just out of shot there. But yeah, I've got the build instructions just here. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like 2 is like a shoulder piece, similar to what we had from building the Winged Prime that we did in the last build video. There's 1 sorted. 2 is up here, yeah, the shoulder / chest piece. Be careful with this piece not to clip too far down, because if you can see, it's sort of, the sprue sticks out here and then ends right here. So there is a bit sticking off that rib cage that could be mistakenly chopped off if you're not careful and aware of what you're doing. 1, 2 and 3 is like a tentacle-y mouthpiece or something. That's 12. There's another piece like that, 3 there. Yeah, so this piece is completely just almost randomly laid out on the sprue. This sprue is sort of randomly laid out. Just going to try and do a quick cleanup on these, because I know the cleanup is something I've covered in previous videos. So I shouldn't really be focusing too much on that, in my opinion. But it is something that needs doing. Oh, nearly dropped that piece then. With some of these smaller pieces on this sprue, if you've got like hands larger than that of a primary school or grade school child, then you may find it difficult to hold on to some of the pieces. Try and make sure you've got a well-lit room. If you do drop any of the pieces, you'll be more likely to find them sooner. One little trick that I've shared on previous videos, if you do ever drop a piece, turn your flashlight on, your torch on your phone, and then just hold your phone perpendicular to the floor so it stands off the floor like this, and then turn, if it is on the floor, the piece obviously. If you drop it on a table, do it on the table. But yeah, turn it, and then gives you a nice flat light that you can hopefully help locate the piece with. It's just like a single spotlight, and any bits that are on the floor cast a longer shadow. That's how that sort of works, and enables you to find pieces more quickly. You could turn off all the other lights in the room if you wanted to as well. They cast an even more exaggerated shadow. Let's grab the clippers for this, because we're just going to clip away at that a tiny bit. And there's just another piece on there. Here we go. I'm going to try not gluing these pieces again, similar to my last video. Oh no, that didn't get that piece off there, did I? I think I cleaned up just 2 of the points there instead of 3. So that other sort of mouthpiece goes on the other side here. Oh, this is going to be incredibly fiddly to paint, I think. Sometimes you see people. I just realised I've been coming right off the screen there with that. I do apologise. But sometimes you see people painting miniatures on sprues so they leave it on the sprue and then they spray it and then they paint it on the sprue. And with certain things like these fiddly bits here, it would actually make it easier. But myself, I'm not one of the crazy people that likes to do that. 5 and 9 we want now, or do we want 4 and 8 first? I think 4 and 8 first and then 5 and 9. Yeah, the reason I'm doing a build video for this, I won't do a build video for all the miniatures in Combat Patrol magazine. 8 I'm looking for now. But the reason I'm doing a build video for this was because I had heard that this was a particularly tricky set of miniatures to build. What I'm going to do is build the first one, then I'll build the next 2 off camera. And then if I run into any issues, I'll turn the camera on and film a little bit more for you. But I don't see the point in filming all 3 of them if the builds are sort of similar. So yeah, I'll build the first one to completion and then come back if I run into any issues with the other 2. I'll just time this first one as well to see how long it takes. Right, 8 goes up here. Again, let's have a quick. Does it go in there? 8, yeah. 8 goes in there. The rear of the 2 forelimbs. 2 forelimbs? 2, 4, 6. The rear of basically the middle limb of the 6 limbs. On the left hand side of the creature. I'm hoping you notice an improved sound quality in this video. I've got a new mic. I have used it in one video that I've recorded already. This piece has got a little nubbin to help you locate. Yeah, there's a little nubbin on this leg piece. It's a little tricky to get in there. Felt a bit flimsy. There was a bit of bend in the leg when I pushed it into position, but it got there, so I'm not too worried about that. The next piece we want is 5 and 9, the next 2 pieces rather. This is 5. Whew. This is something on the base that it's stood on by the looks of it. Nice to see. There's only one connection point that I'll have to clean up there because the other 2 pieces were under the pegs that go into the base. Let's see if we can just pop that straight on there. That was 5. I wonder if part of the problems with building this that my friend had were related to pushing the pieces in, because you've got to be careful not to knock the other pieces when you're pushing any new pieces in. 5, there's 6, we want 9 though. It's going to be another claw piece there. Fantastic. Again, there's a long peg on the shoulder there. Be careful not to clip that off. I'm estimating a build time of about 30 or 35 minutes on these for all 3 of them, based on the fact that I've been working for about 10 minutes now, and when there's fewer pieces left on the sprue, I'll save a bit of time locating the pieces that remain. And this is another middle one, I'm guessing. Again, just if you're not sure where it's going, just reference the picture that is on the build instructions. going to pop this straight onto the base because it can stand up there quite neatly. And for 2 more pieces, 7 and 6, and these are the large striking forelimbs. 7 and 6. There's 17. Where's 7? 15, 25, 26, 7. Oh, it's 7 and 6 there. Right. I must have misread one. Oh, I read 17 and then discounted the piece beneath it for some reason. And I don't mean I made the piece cheaper. Right, let's see. So this piece looks like it is up in the air, sort of. Is that piece going to? Yeah, so if you look at the shape, let's move that out of the way. So if you look at the shape under the shoulder pad here, it sort of comes to a point at the front, and then this comes to a point at the front here. So it's going to be going in roughly like that. Yeah, these are fiddly. It's the limbs going in that's the fiddly bit. I may even take that middle one off and then put that one back on afterwards. Yeah, so if you're struggling with the limbs, don't glue them at first. And also, if you don't glue them, you can remove them when you're painting as well. There we go. So that was a lot easier once I sorted out that forelimb there. Or remove the mid limb rather. And again, this one's got a slight point on the front. So we're going to stop the timer there. So that's saying 14 minutes 15 seconds. I don't think that was too hard to build that really. I did have a slight problem with the forelimb, the long slashing forelimb. So all I had to do was just take the mid limb out and then put the forelimb back in. It wasn't too bad really. So I'm going to build the other 2, and then what I'll do, I'll film a summary for you. Guys, I'm about to put this final claw into the Tyrannid. Look at this guy. He hasn't even realised his desk down cam switched off. What a flipping numpty. How long is it going to take him to realise? Damn fool. Oh, wait, has he clocked it? Oh yeah. 3 models have now been completed, bar just them hole fillers on the bases. And I'm very happy with them. It took less than 40 minutes altogether. I didn't think they were too hard myself. There's just a little bit of clean up to do there on that one actually. This is the thing when you're building for a camera. You do miss little bits like that. But yeah, I'm happy with them. Just as a quick size comparison to the Tyrannid Prime as well. So they're nice size. Them they're not as big as the Lictor, which is the model that they're sort of based on. It's like a character model that they're based on, but they are large, and they're definitely not as big as the Death Leaper. But they are large models, and they are very cool looking models in my opinion. These were one of the reasons that I was like, yeah, I think I'll get Combat Patrol at least for the first 20 or so issues, because Tyrannids a lot of the time don't appeal to me, but these ones do. I'll stop that camera there. Yeah, it's been a good little build session. About 40 minutes in total, like I said. There was nothing too tricky that I ran into. It's just a case of repositioning the limbs, and if you put, say, the mid limbs on, sometimes they block the forelimbs, the holes to the forelimbs when you're putting them on. So you might want to not glue them in the first place, like I said initially. Just make sure you clean up the pieces properly and try not to put too much stress on any of the delicate bits of plastic. I only got 1 bit of stressed plastic there by the looks of it. But yeah, I didn't think they were too bad. I've got years of hobby experience, like I said in one of my recent videos. I think it was my first I think it might have been when I was building the Tyrannid Wing Prime. I've got years of hobby experience, so newer hobbyists might run into a few more issues with them, but for myself, they weren't too bad. The person who told me they were fiddly is also a very experienced hobbyist, possibly more experienced than me. But yeah, it may just be a case of he was having a bit of a moan, because they are very spindly, fiddly bits. But yeah, once you realise you can just, if you don't glue them, first things first, if you don't glue them off the bat, you can always undo any barriers that you've put in place for yourself. So taking out some of the limbs that you've already attached, and then try attaching the limbs in a slightly different order. Yeah, so be a bit flexible with the instructions is the bit of advice I give you for this kit. It wasn't too bad for me, like I said. I'm hoping to get some painting done soon, seeing as though I've recently recorded a video recently about selecting colour schemes. That's probably going to be out by the time this video goes live. But if not, keep an eye out for it, and make sure you check out my Combat Patrol playlist, which I will create at some point. At the minute, I've just got a load of Combat Patrol videos on my channel. They're all the most recent videos, like within the last 10 videos for the most part. So yeah, check all the other videos out if you've missed any, and come back next time. I'll see you on the battlefield.